The Sanctuary of Light and the Light Institute welcome each and all of you to this time of knowings and invite you to be very informal and open and have great conversations today about what is indeed dear to your hearts. So please bring forward any questions or conversations you would like for us to have. Yes.
Could you talk about ascension and what happens to our energies when they do ascend and transcend? What was maybe the purpose of what Jesus Christ was trying to show to us?
Yes. He did get bogged down a little bit because he was not in sync with the density of humanity 2,000 years ago. He always held that in his consciousness. It was kind of a, look ma, no hands kind of thing. Watch this, I can go into light body. Watch this, death has no power over us. There is nothing outside us that can destroy us. That we always have the power of lifting up. And I once did a conversation that we taped that's called Transcending Adversity. And that's what he was showing. You can ascend, you can transcend, you can transmute, you can lift up from anything that seems impossible because of the source of our being, because we are made of light, because we are divine. And that divinity holds within it the purpose of our souls inhabiting human form, human bodies. So he was attempting to show that energy, again, what we know from science, never dies, it just changes form. So what he did, he took that tremendous adversity, that impossibility, and he showed how to shift into the light body. And people have forgotten the echo that has come down through thousands of years. All that I can do, so can you do, and more. That was his commandment, his only commandment to us. Practice it. Do it. Lift up. And as you do that, by the way, and that's why he still presented himself in light body form, but in astral form. In other words, the form of his body looked like he did before, because he took the particles that had coalesced into this body. He took them into the high spinning frequency of light, but allowed them the points of reference, because our human body is like a constellation, just like the cosmos. Every part of it tells a story. Every part of it has its own particular gift to the whole. And so he returned, he ascended, he returned, and he said, look, this is what it is. This is what it's about. If we can hold that, we don't have to fear death or approval or disapproval or any of the things that we were afraid of 2,000 years ago that we're afraid of now. But we couldn't take in that. Because the highest energies that come to us in a flash. They come to us in that peripheral vision of that intuitive energy, that knowing that comes. And then comes the initiation. Will you focus on it? Will you take it and practice it? Will you use it? Or will it flicker out and you miss it? So many times we say, I had this idea, but I can't remember what it was. I can't remember how to do it. I can't remember the clarity that I had at that moment. And that's because our focus is in survival. And so the greatest gift to humanity, which I am always talking about, that Jesus the Christ gave in terms of ascension, was to say, let go of survival, let go of primordial primitive energies, and find yourself in these higher, more expanded, holographic frequencies through which you can begin to participate in the world around you. Therefore, your life not only has purpose, but it has the power of the giver to give something. So ascension is not a complicated thing. you could write books about it, you could chatter about it forever, but you don't need anything but a point of reference. Ascension, what is it for me at this moment? And feel what it is. Does it go around like this? Is it a splash someplace? All you have to do is say, let me focus on that. Let me experience that. And it begins to occur. Because truth is only what we experience. And that's why some people have the truth of possibility and ascension, that things are getting better. And some people have the truth that things are getting worse. Because it depends on how you're perceiving yourself in the solid nature of the third dimension, which is always interweaving with the astral and the higher energies. We can always bring in to us the power of ascension or transcendence. It's simply, again, to choose it. And that's where humans are afraid. We're always thinking, but if I choose that, but if I try that, what will happen? Will it be taken away? Will I fail at the task? Instead of the deliciousness of, what's it like right at this moment? And then you carry that with you, and suddenly through synergy, and through light, and through your own purpose, things begin to come to you. And you find that you can wield life. One of the gifts that was given in that whole conversation of ascension really, really is that power of choice. And with choice comes the beauty of not having to feel that if we have some terrible things in the world, that means we're failing. But the grace with which we embrace our lives, whether it's sorrow or loss or in his case the intense conversation of crucifixion, if you follow that direction. There were 50,000 people that were crucified. It wasn't a unique experience. But it was a gift of, look, you're still there. We're still here. We will always be here. We have had many, many lifetimes. Our consciousness does not die in our death, does not die when we fall asleep. It's always, always there. And so that what was being offered in ascension was the uplifting energy that we call grace. So that we can say, all right, here's the difficulty I have. What's the most graceful way that I can embrace it? Not run from it, not defend myself, not put it on someone else, but say, here I am. I can walk in there. And to do that with that sense of grace. And 2,000 years later, we haven't really come to even these words. In fact, there are people who truly feel we haven't the right to ascend, to transcend, that we're supposed to grovel. Well, no, we're not. That's a concept that came from humans, and it's time to put it down. And that's why we're going through so many changes right now. Think of your own lives right now. I'm sure that there's nobody sitting in this room that isn't experiencing from moment to moment a new possibility, something falling away, a necessity of change. That's what we're here for. It's a very exciting time because we're getting the cosmic boot. We're getting pushed into change. And so let us do so by uplifting, by ascending, and by doing it with the grace, the peace that says, it will be all right. It is all right. It belongs to us.